Welcome, everyone, to this special series where we're exploring what it really means to be an alt-link here at Alter.
Yeah, Alter, our marketing and advertising agency, we're driven by that vision, to be recognized as the home of limitless creativity.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into one of our core values, learning mindset.
That's the one. The official line is, I welcome constructive feedback and use it to improve. Sounds simple, maybe?
It does sound simple, but there's quite a bit packed in there, isn't there? Our mission today is really to get under the skin of what that means for all of us as alt-links.
Right. We want to clarify what it is.
And maybe just as crucial, what it isn't.
Absolutely. We'll give some real examples, too, so you can see how it actually, works in our daily jobs.
Think of this as your fast track, your shortcut to really getting this key part of Alter's culture. So let's kick things off. In simple terms, what's really at the heart of this learning mindset?
Well, at its core, it's really about a commitment to continuous growth.
Okay, growth.
Yeah, and it's fueled by curiosity, really, a
Right.
genuine drive to just get better. It's understanding that progress, well, it often comes from being
Open to learning.
open to learning, exactly,
Mm.
especially maybe when things don't go quite as planned, or, interestingly, even when they go really well, there's always something there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about being coachable, seeing feedback not as, like, criticism.
Which can be hard sometimes.
It can be,
Yeah.
but seeing it instead as um, valuable insight, maybe even a collaborative opportunity. The goal is always turning good into great and, great into even better.
So it's less about expecting perfection right off the bat, more about that journey of improving.
Precisely. Here at Alter, we get that growth isn't about, like, flawless performance from day one. It's about embracing those learning chances,
The ones that pop up when things go sideways, maybe.
or even when they exceed what we hoped for. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, there's always a lesson in any outcome.
Hmm.
And what's really interesting is seeing this, in action.
Definitely. Let's get into the nuts and bolts then. What does it actually look like day to day?
Okay, so a key sign is someone actively asking, what could I do better next time? Or even, what did I do well that I should repeat?
Ah, so it's proactive.
Very proactive.
Yeah.
But, and this is crucial, it's not just asking. It's applying what you learn, taking action on the feedback,
Right. Hearing it is one thing.
doing something with it. That's what really embodies the value. It also means staying open, even if the feedback feels a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Growth isn't always comfy, is it?
Usually isn't. It often happens right outside that comfort zone.
Yeah.
And fundamentally, it's about choosing growth and development over, say, ego or pride.
So prioritizing getting better over needing to look like you're already perfect.
You've got it.
Yeah.
A learning mindset means the goal of improvement outweighs the desire to be seen as flawless.
That makes a lot of sense. So the feedback we get, it's not meant as a negative thing. It's more like a guide.
Exactly. Think of it like a guidepost or maybe a compass, not a stop sign. It helps us spot blind spots, sharpen our skills, and just make sure we're all pulling in the right direction together. Alter recognizes that perfection isn't the target. It's the continuous progress, that drive fueled by a willingness to learn. That's what we truly value.
Okay, good. So we have a clearer picture of what a learning mindset is. But I think to really nail this down, we need to talk about what it isn't. Address those potential misunderstandings.
That's a really vital point. It's definitely not about dwelling on mistakes.
Right. Or fostering some kind of blame culture.
Absolutely not. And receiving feedback doesn't automatically mean you failed. Not at all. It's just a natural, essential part of the creative process here, and frankly, of any professional development journey at Alter.
Makes sense.
And another thing, it's not just about you growing in isolation. A learning mindset actually contributes to the whole team's strength, to our unity.
Ah, so it's got a collective benefit too. Less about pointing fingers, more about solving things together and growing as a unit.
Exactly. It frames challenges not as individual failures, but as chances for us to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Individually, yes, but also together as an agency.
Uh-huh.
And the cool thing is, you can actually see this happening across different teams here.
Oh, yeah. Can you give us some concrete examples? I think seeing it in practice really helps it click.
Sure. So think about our designers. They don't just sort of finish a design and say done.
Right.
They actively seek out feedback,
Mhm.
maybe on user flow or interactions. And then they actually use that input to make tweaks, make improvements. It's not about starting over from scratch.
It's refinement.
It's refinement, exactly. Or Look at our copywriters. They often do peer reviews, right?
Mhm.
They're looking to sharpen the tone, make sure the message really hits home with the audience, that it aligns with the brand.
Mm.
It's that iterative process, that back and forth, that makes the final piece stronger.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that kind of collaboration. What about maybe on the performance side, campaign results and things?
Yeah. Great example. Our performance execs, the analytics teams, strategists,
Mm.
they're always digging into campaign data
Hmm.
critically.
Okay.
And if results aren't quite hitting the mark, the focus isn't whose fault is this?
Yeah.
It's, okay, why didn't this work as expected? And then crucially, how do we adjust our strategy based on what we just learned?
Learning from the data.
Precisely. Even in client servicing. Our client success managers, they might see a challenging interaction not just as a tough call, but as a chance.
A chance to improve.
Yeah, to improve their communication, maybe their listening skills or how they follow up. It's turning challenges into learning opportunities.
It really sounds like this touches, well, pretty much every part of the agency.
It really does. And leadership models it too. Team leads actively ask for feedback on how the team's working.
Yeah.
Like, are the stand-ups effective?
Oh, interesting.
And then they adapt their approach based on that feedback to better support their teams. So these aren't just, isolated
It's
incidents.
woven in.
It's woven into the fabric of how we work, yeah. Across all departments, all levels. It's about being open to finding a better way, even if you thought your way was pretty good to start with.
And that's where it gets really powerful, I think. It's not just a nice idea on a poster. It's about actually doing it day to day.
Exactly right. It comes back to those actions. Asking how to improve, actually applying the feedback, staying open even when it's a bit tough, and choosing growth over ego.
Because that feedback, like you said, isn't a stop sign.
Nope, it's a guidepost helping us all move forward together.
So let's bring it right back to each of us as alt links. What's the main takeaway here?
Well, as you go about your work here at Alter, just remember that embracing this learning mindset, welcoming that constructive feedback, using it to improve it isn't just good for you personally.
Right.
It's absolutely fundamental to Alter's big vision, that home of limitless creativity idea. And it's key to our collective success.
So we'd really encourage everyone listening to maybe take a moment, reflect on how you currently approach feedback.
Yeah, are there ways you could lean into this value even more in your daily work?
What questions does this whole discussion spark for you about your own growth, your development here? We really invite you to think actively about how you can seek out and, importantly, apply feedback more consistently.
And maybe think about this too. How can each of us help make it even easier, more natural, for everyone in Alter to both give and receive feedback constructively?
That's a great question to ponder. Definitely something to think about. Okay, stay tuned for our next deep dive. We'll be tackling another one of Alter's core values and looking at how it shapes our unique culture.